we have some unconfirmed information about the upcoming July 16th episode, and if you ask me, we are about to witness some of the most explosive shifts in recent memory. Everyone assumes that the upcoming meeting between Curtis and Valentine is just going to be a standard, polite exchange of gratitude. Most viewers believe that because Valentine risked his own life to pull Jordan from that terrifying, fiery car explosion, Curtis is simply stepping up to do the honorable thing as a man. The obvious explanation seems to be that Curtis will buy Valentine a drink, shake his hand, express his deep appreciation for saving Jordan's life, and then they will go their separate ways. It looks like a simple wrap-up to a dramatic rescue. But let me tell you, there may be more going on here. What if that wasn't the real reason for this sit-down? What if Curtis is using this heartfelt thank you as a convenient cover to mask a much darker agenda? Speculation is running wild that Curtis is actually approaching Valentine with a massive, highly illegal problem that he cannot solve through official channels. We know Curtis has been backed into a corner lately with all the legal threats and the assault charges hanging over his head. Valentine, on the other hand, possesses the underground connections, the mercenary background, and the sheer ruthlessness to make impossible messes disappear without a trace. This unexpected alliance could shift the entire power dynamic in the city. They are two men who operate comfortably in the gray areas of morality, and teaming up means they are preparing for an absolute war. I keep wondering whether Curtis is about to cross a line he can never come back from, asking Valentine to eliminate a threat permanently or cover up a massive crime. The insider buzz suggests that Valentine will listen to Curtis's plea and offer a devil's bargain in return. If this rumor holds true, we are looking at the birth of a terrifying new syndicate that operates entirely in the shadows. Then we have the heartbreaking and infuriating situation developing between Carly and Britt. Everyone assumes Carly is just lashing out in grief, being her usual petty self over past grievances. But what if we're looking at this the wrong way? The rumor is that Carly takes a shockingly cruel step by officially changing the locks on Bobby's old apartment, effectively kicking Britt out onto the streets without a moment's notice. And to add insult to absolute injury, Carly allegedly turns around and rents the place immediately to Tristan, the arrogant new doctor who just arrived in town. Britt is left entirely homeless, spiraling into a desperate and humiliating situation. When Britt furiously confronts Carly about the sudden eviction, the insider buzz says Carly doesn't even flinch. Instead of showing an ounce of empathy, Carly brutally tells Britt to stop blaming the rest of the world for her problems and to finally take responsibility for her own miserable life. It is a cold, calculated, and devastating move that cuts Britt right to the bone, leaving her shattered and without a safe haven. But another theory is that Carly is doing this intentionally, executing a psychological attack to push Britt completely out of the city for good. Britt is already balancing on a razor's edge with her legal troubles and her health scares, and losing her only sanctuary might be the final straw that breaks her spirit. Will Britt pack her bags, admit defeat, and leave town permanently? Or will this cruel eviction ignite a fire inside her, prompting her to declare an all-out, scorched earth war on Carly? Something about this feels hidden, like Carly knows a secret about Britt that makes her want to eradicate her from the map entirely before that secret can be exposed. Let us pivot over to the hospital, where a highly classified, tense conversation is about to take place between Anna and Jocelyn. Everyone thinks Anna is just checking in on a traumatized girl after the absolute nightmare hostage situation at Windermere. The obvious assumption is that Anna is playing the role of a caring mentor, offering a shoulder to cry on. But what if someone planned this conversation to extract a dangerous, world-shattering truth? Anna is still deeply entrenched in her secret off-the-books mission, and she firmly believes that Jocelyn is holding on to a suppressed memory or a hidden piece of evidence from her time in captivity. The unconfirmed information suggests that Jocelyn's upcoming confession is the final, crucial puzzle piece Anna desperately needs to take down the entire syndicate. But what exactly did Jocelyn see in those dark, cold stone corridors of Spoon Island? The rumor mill suggests that Jocelyn witnessed something so horrific that her mind tried to bury it to protect her sanity. Did she see a high-ranking official making a deal with the mercenary? Did she overhear the exact location of the missing cold fusion prototype? Anna is known for her relentless interrogation tactics, and she might push Jocelyn to the absolute brink to get the answers she needs. Let's break down the multiple scenarios circulating in the spoiler communities right now regarding Jocelyn's hidden secret. Scenario 1. Jocelyn witnessed a cold-blooded murder at Windermere and has been terrified into silence, fearing that if she speaks the truth, the remaining operatives will come after her family to silence her permanently. She is carrying the weight of a dead body on her conscience and cannot break. Scenario 2. Jocelyn didn't just witness something. She accidentally took something physical. Perhaps a digital drive, a ledger, or a coded document that the mercenaries are still actively hunting for. This would make her a walking target every single time she steps out of her hospital room, turning her recovery into a high-stakes game of survival where anyone could be an assassin. Scenario 3. Jocelyn actually made a dark, unforgivable deal with one of her captors to ensure her own survival and the survival of her loved one. If Anna forces her to confess this deal, Jocelyn could be implicated as a willing accomplice to an international crime, destroying her future forever. Each of these possibilities completely shatters the narrative we have been fed so far. It turns Jocelyn from a helpless victim into an active, potentially dangerous player in this massive conspiracy. Meanwhile, the clock is ticking down to 0 for Nina and Brennan. They are frantically hunting for that missing black box that contains the ultimate, undeniable blackmail evidence against Drew. The tension between Nina and Brennan is electric, and this high-stakes, adrenaline-fueled treasure hunt is pushing them closer together, sparking a dangerous and undeniable romance. They are sneaking around, following breadcrumbs, and risking everything to find this box before it falls into the wrong hand. But they have a massive, terrifying problem looming over them. Drew is recovering. The insider buzz says that Drew is slowly but surely regaining his mobility. He is twitching his fingers, moving his limbs, and fighting through the paralysis that was supposed to keep him docile. If Drew regains his full strength and mobility before Nina and Brennan find that black box, their entire plan to control him evaporates into thin air. Drew will be out for blood, and he will not hesitate to destroy both of them. The anxiety is palpable, and every second that passes brings Drew closer to waking up and seeking his brutal revenge. And this brings us to the incredibly twisted dynamic between Michael and Willow. The rumor mill says Michael corners Willow with a very cryptic, terrifying statement. He allegedly tells her that they both know a man gave Willow exactly what she wanted. Everyone assumes he is talking about Drew, referencing the twisted power dynamics and the secrets they share. It sounds like a husband calling out his wife's indiscretions or her reliance on another man's influence. But what if the situation is being manipulated from the very top? What if Michael has secretly found Drew, rescued him from his vulnerable state, and is actively nursing him back to health in a hidden location just to use him as a weapon against Willow? Imagine the sheer terror and shock on Willow's face if Michael suddenly opens a door in the mansion and a fully recovered, furious Drew walks in, ready to destroy her life. Michael has always had a ruthless streak, and this would be his ultimate masterpiece of manipulation. He could be playing the role of the supportive husband while secretly holding the dagger right against Willow's back. While all these adults are playing their deadly games of chess, Trina is facing her own deeply personal nightmare. Right before her massive career-defining musical performance, the pressure becomes entirely too much to bear. The insider buzz says Trina suffers a severe panic attack backstage. The blinding lights, the massive expectations, the heavy weight of her family's endless drama, it all crashes down on her at once. She wants to quit, ready to throw away her entire future and run out the back door to escape the anxiety. But Gio steps in. Gio becomes her rock, offering the exact words of encouragement, the steady hand, and the emotional support she needs to find her confidence. He reminds her of her immense talent and guides her back out onto that stage to claim her destiny. It is a beautiful, grounding moment amidst the chaos, showing that true partnerships are forged in the fires of panic. But Trina has no idea what is happening to Portia at that exact terrifying moment. Portia, suddenly goes into labor. The devastating part of this rumor is that Portia realizes the baby is coming entirely too fast. Her water breaks, the contractions are on top of each other with no breathing room, and she is nowhere near the hospital. The rumor is that Portia is trapped, potentially completely alone in a house, forced to give birth in a terrifying, unassisted home delivery. It is a life or death medical crisis that will have viewers holding their breath, praying that someone, anyone, arrives in time to save her and the baby before a tragedy strikes. But guys, we have to talk about the most dangerous possibility regarding the entire Michael, Willow, and Drew triangle. The boldest theory circulating behind the scenes isn't just that Michael rescues Drew to use him as a pawn. No, the most dangerous possibility is that Michael was the one who orchestrated Drew's paralysis in the first place. Think about it. What if Michael secretly poisoned Drew, framed the whole thing to look like a tragic accident or a targeted attack by a rival, and then manipulated Willow into believing she was the one pulling the strings and hiding the truth? What if Michael has been the ultimate puppet master this entire time, playing his own wife and his uncle against each other so he could emerge with total uncontested control over the family empire and the corporate board? It is a chilling, haunting thought that turns Michael into the ultimate, untouchable villain of the decade. It means every smile, every comforting hug he has given Willow has been a calculated lie designed to keep her blind to the monster sleeping right next to her. Will Michael's ultimate betrayal be exposed to the light of day? Will Portia survive this harrowing, isolated childbirth? Will Britt actually leave town? Or will she burn Carly's life to the ground before she goes? This might be true. It might be completely false. We are dealing with unconfirmed information and behind-the-scenes possibilities that could change at any moment. But one thing is absolutely certain. There is a massive storm coming to the city, and we are only seeing the very edge of the dark clouds. Something huge is hiding just out of sight, and when it finally breaks, nothing will ever be the same. Stay tuned, because the truth is always darker than the rumors.
Goodbye. Please like, subscribe, and comment on the GH Spoilers Daily channel.